What's up, Irish fans? Anthony Romo back with another edition of our player profiles with the Ursuline Irish football team. Proud to be joined here with James McGlone, the kicker for the Irish. James, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So no one will ever know this, but this is actually the second time that we've been able to do this with you back-to-back weeks. Talked with you last week, but unfortunately it was an error on our end audio-wise. So proud to meet with you again. We're going to love to hear your story again. We're going to walk all the way through it. So the reasoning behind you only being able to join us last week and not with all the other seniors earlier on is you were in another season. You were playing two sports in the fall, big soccer guy. Just talk about first how your senior season went for soccer and one of your favorite moments.
Senior season went pretty well. Ended shorter than I thought it would. But one of my favorite moments was definitely beating Fitch. Because that was after we played Fitch in football. So it was good to beat him in one of my sports.
Yeah, and you guys had quite the game against Fitch in football this year, too. You guys went down early, but you came back towards the end. Were unable to get a win out of that, but still, that was one of my favorite games to call this season with the ways that game turned back and forth, and it was just quite the game. And then I'll ask you this as well. How does the sport of soccer help kind of get you prepared for the sport of football on Friday nights?
There's definitely similarities between playing soccer and kicking a football. So it's definitely helped me. And, it keeps me occupied. It keeps me in good shape for football.
So. And then I'll kind of take the lead on this. This is something we talked about last week that literally stuck with me all week long. And I paid attention to it during the game on Friday night. You brought this up last week that the goalposts on college fields are skinnier in a way. They're closer together, right, than on normal high school fields. So to you, it's an advantage when you guys go to high school stadiums because you're so used to kicking at Youngstown State. We're heading to another high school stadium this week at Bo Ryan Stadium in Niles. It'll be your first away game in, since week 8, I want to say?
Yeah, Villangela.
Yeah, so it has been quite a while. You guys played a lot of games at Stanbaugh Stadium. Just played your last game at Stanbaugh Stadium for your career. Have you ever kicked at Bo Ryan Stadium a football?
I have not kicked a football at Bo Ryan Stadium, but it's not an excuse. You just gotta go.
No, it's not.
Coach Reardon always says wherever you're playing, there's no excuses. You just gotta go win.
And then before we touch into this week's matchup against Canfield, I want to ask you this. So now that your playing career is done at Stanbaugh Stadium, what was your favorite memory from kicking in that stadium?
Definitely this year's Mooney game. That just entire game as a whole. Because I was a big part of that game, and it was just a good memory.
Yeah, you played a huge role in that game, 13-7 victory. If you don't make those 2 field goals, you guys might not win that game. If that goes to overtime, Mooney was starting to gain some momentum in the second half, but your defense held up very strong to help get that victory. So now the Canfield Cardinals this week, a very unique matchup for both schools. I believe you guys haven't faced off since the 1980s, so generations long. Another Valley school that you guys are playing in the regional semifinals. A lot of excitement, right, heading into this game?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of excitement. We've been looking forward to playing them for a while now. And, there's times where, when we found out about moving up division, this is one of the games you think about. So
it'll be exciting.
It's definitely exciting.
I'm sure there's going to be a great crowd on hand Friday night for that ball game. 2 of the best programs in the Valley year in, year out. Going back to last week real quick against Talmadge, you did it again. It seems like you do it about once a week. You had a perfectly executed onside kick to help give you guys the ball back after scoring a touchdown. It was a huge momentum shift in that ball game. How hard is it to perfect an onside kick the way you do?
I wouldn't say it's difficult. I mean, it just comes with practice, and you gotta trust. You gotta trust your kickoff team. I got Will Burney over there; he can go get it.
Yeah, Will's.
Go get it.
I think this is the second time this year Will has recovered one of your kicks. He did it against Brookfield too, I think, on an angled pooch. So Will, got to give a shout out to him. Coach Reardon said he played one of the best all-around games that he has seen in quite a while, and I'll back him up on that. Had some big plays defensively, touchdown offensively, punt return for a touchdown, special teams. That was quite the game for sure. And then you guys as a team had a huge comeback in that game. For Ursuline terms, you were down 14-0 against Talmadge, but you guys scored 38 unanswered points. From your perspective, kicking an extra point for us, it seems like it's automatic, but for the kicker on the field, each time your reps have to be perfect, and everyone's counting on you to make it. Early on in your career, did you feel a lot of pressure going out with the extra point squad?
Um, yes and no. I mean, the first PAT of the year was a miss because
Oh,
wasn't expecting it. But
oh yeah, that's right.
yeah,
So you
but
guys got the 2 point conversion, but it got called back.
yeah, but it's definitely just automatic at this point. Like we know all of our unit trust each other. We know what we're doing, so we gotta get that point.
And I
Gotta
think
take
that
advantage of it.
one of the biggest reasons that you guys have made a run this far back into the playoffs, we talk about experience. And I think having a kicker that is experienced as you has really helped this team get to where they are in this point of the season. You had a lot of big kicks last year as well for this Ursuline team. Looking back at last year, how much of a confidence boost did you get from beginning to end in that year with being able to make some of the kicks that you did?
Uh, Definitely a huge change of confidence. Beginning of last season, I was learning how to kick, like in the summer preseason. So as the season went on, I learned more, and it's definitely carried over this year.
And
So
then heading back into this week, looking at the forecast ahead, this isn't confirmed or anything. It looks like there might be some rain in the forecast on Friday. When you're have when you play in the rain, I know you played a lot of soccer in the rain, obviously, because you played it your whole life. Does it have? Do you have to change like your focus at all when you're trying to kick anything in the rain compared to when it's on a dry surface?
yes and no. There's definitely more. Like you have to focus a little bit more because little mistakes are amplified. But in the end, it's the same thing. You can't let it. You can't make an excuse out of it.
And then to head kind of to the off the field um, part of this interview. This is your senior year at Ursuline. Obviously, a very special year for everyone in high school whenever it's their senior year. When you go back to kind of your first day, first week at Ursuline, what do you think your biggest growth as a person has been from freshman year?
Uh, Definitely my time management. Freshman year I didn't play any sports,
Oh,
and then sophomore year I started soccer. Junior year I started football. So over time I've definitely gotten better at managing my time, being able to handle school and my sports.
what was it for you that kind of made you want to come out and kick for the football team?
Well, my cousin from Hubbard, he was Anthony Corin. He was a kicker,
Kicker himself.
and I knew I could do it with my soccer background, and he kind of helped me out a little bit. And then I was like, if I'm gonna try it, I might as well try it and like see if I can do it instead of guessing if I could or not.
Well, good thing you tried because this Ursuline team has really benefited off of your kicking the last few years. James, is like how we like to end all our interviews at YSN. A little bit of quick fire, part two, because we're back this week. I feel like I already know some of your answers coming at me. Um, First things first, shout out your favorite teacher at Ursuline and your favorite class. Could be
Uh,
the same together.
Favorite class right now is probably French 4.
That's tough. Foreign language all the way to 4.
Yeah, but we've got a good group and
Okay.
we've been together. And Madam Devlin, she's just the best.
Madam Devlin, shout out to you for everything you do. All the teachers at Ursuline High School that get these guys prepared for games on Friday night. All right, we'll go back to soccer. At what age did you really start to like playing the sport of soccer?
I started playing soccer when I was about like 6 or 7, I think. And it's just been like
What's your favorite part about the game? What's your favorite part about the sport of soccer?
I like the control that the players have on the sport. Like it's continuous, so you can kind of make the game how you want it to be.
Okay, and I know because one of my good friends played soccer his whole life and then became the kicker his senior year at Hubbard, actually the year after Anthony graduated because he was a year older than me. What is the biggest difference in kicking a soccer ball and kicking a football?
Coach Green would probably laugh when I said this. It's definitely your follow through because
Okay.
when you're kicking a soccer ball, your leg sweeps right to left. When you're kicking a football, it has to go straight, so it goes to the uprights.
Is there something that happened the first time you tried to kick
There-
the football?
There's a few times at practice where I'll have soccer before or like soccer that day, and I'll kick it like a soccer ball, and he'll
It just
say,
goes
yeah,
sideways.
Yeah.
It happens. I mean, that's a big transition for you, and the balls are completely different sizes too, and different shapes as well. Music. James, what are you listening to in the locker room before the game starts Friday night against Canfield?
Well, I don't control the music, so
Okay.
there's a bunch of stuff that we got on. But
What's your favorite song? You have a favorite song? Favorite artist?
uh, Rod Wave's up there with.
Oh, man. You just became my favorite player on this team. Rod Wave's dropping another mixtape on November 17th. I cannot wait for that, and I'm sure you can't either. He's been on fire lately with the music. Rod Wave, you don't understand how excited you just made me with that. And then one final question. Obviously, a big game this Friday night against Canfield. Looking to go to the regional final for the second straight year. What do you think this team has to do in practice this week to kind of prepare themselves mentally for this game?
We just gotta. Hard work is in practice, and the fun's on Friday. So we just gotta come in with that mentality. Good 4 good days of practice, just so we could have 4 good quarters on Friday.
All right, that's fair. Well, James, we'll be there Friday night and wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.